Welcome to Race School, the programme that follows 7 people through the rigours of an international racecourse at the Jim Russell Race School in Silverstone. The pupils have now all passed, giving them their first racing licence, and this is how they did it. Our first group of students are off to a fitting session. Driving any single-seat race car means more than hopping in and sliding the seat about until you're comfortable. Like a good suit, the car has to be fitted to you. And it's a tight fit. There's not much room to manoeuvre inside, but getting everything in the right place is critical if the driver is to keep control and to feel everything that the car is doing underneath them. Measurements are taken and recorded for the distance from the pedals and steering wheel, and the process goes on until the instructors and mechanics are happy that they've got it right.
Okay, Hunter, your first car fitting, how was it?
I was a bit surprised actually. It's very comfortable, but I was surprised about the travel on the pedals, because on the clutch pedal it's especially short. It's only literally got that much travel on it, whereas with a car you're talking sort of this much.
You're a big lad. How did you actually feel in the confines of a single-seater cockpit?
I was very surprised actually, yeah. So I was thinking it's going to be very, very tight, but actually it wasn't too bad at all.
Today what we're doing is heel and toe, which is, so if you want to, when you actually brake, you want to be right on the edge of this pedal here, okay? So when you're on full brake, you flick your heel like that, that's it, perfect.
And so to work. After all the preparations, lessons can begin, and it's time to learn about balance, the key to success in any racing discipline. It's the first time some of these young racers have driven a single-seater, and they begin with cornering practice and an introduction to the art of Elam Towing. It means applying pressure to the brake pedal to slow the car, whilst rocking the side of the foot onto the throttle pedal and blipping it during down changes. Easy. Done correctly, it matches the engine speed with the speed of the road wheels, keeping the change smooth and allowing the car to keep its balance. The touring cars might be bigger and heavier than the single-seaters, but balance is no less important if the car is to be controlled under racing conditions.
That was really good fun, really, really good fun. It's really brilliant, but I was a bit disappointed by the performance. From the karting background, I thought I'd be able to do it a little bit better, but it's quite hard. It keeps on changing the settings as you're going around, so it lifts the car up, so it makes it harder and it skids more. Because it's a road car as well, there's loads of turns, lot to lock. I think there's 3 turns, so if you really got it sideways, you have to go all the way 3 turns sideways. Then the problem was getting the wheel back quick enough in time to do it, but it was really good fun.
The aim of the exercise is just to, so as you appreciate what it's like when the car does go out of control, to appreciate what it's like on the edge of control, so you can appreciate the before and after, if you like, and hopefully you won't get to the after. We're going to get another shot at it now that we're warmed up, get a second chance at it, and take it from there. So I'll say after the second time, see what he feels.
It's fantastic. I like the equipment a lot, because it really gets you going. It really gets the car to oversteer and understand all that, which is nice. So you learn to really control it and all that. It's not really, limited. So you can really have fun on the skid pad. You got to learn to be nice and smooth through, and you can relate it to the racing and all that. So it's hell of a nice.
done up.
Make sure you're close enough so your wrist can comfortably rest on the top of the wheel. Alright? When you're driving a saloon car on the circuit, the more upright the back of your seat, the more feel you have for the car. Okay, and obviously the more control you have over the steering if your arms are slightly bent. Alright? Okay. First thing to remember when we're in the pit lane, maximum speed 5-10 miles an hour. There are no records to be broken in the pit lane. Watch out for other cars coming in and out, and most importantly, watch out for people who might be crossing over the pit lane in front of you. So remember, the thing that's most important to remember is that a corner always starts on the exit of the previous corner. So west turn, that's the next one coming up. That is about to start now as we exit north. We know it's a left-hander, so we're going to allow the car to stay on the right-hand side of the track. That will open the corner up for us. Remember what I said when we were walking the circuit? You parallel the white line as close as you can all the way down the back straight. Now west turn is greater than 90 degrees. It also leads in to the S's. So there's going to be a compromise to the exit of the corner. We're not going to allow the car to use all the road on the way out. That means that we're going to turn into the corner a little bit deeper to hold the car tighter on the exit. We've got a braking marker here, which again, this is an initial marker. We'll only be leaving this out for your first session of lapping. The yellow cone is where we're going to be turning in. That's the yellow cone on the right hand side, and then the yellow cone on the inside is our clipping point. So before we've turned into the corner, we've picked up all our markers. We know approximately what we're going to do. The last third of the braking area, we look into the clipping point and turn smoothly and progressively into the corner. Now remember, where the clipping point is a long way away from your turning in point, we turn the wheel more gradually. So it's a very gradual turn into the corner. Before we get to the clipping point, transfer your vision to the exit of the corner, which is effectively here, the middle of the road. You can see on the left hand side your red cone, which is braking, your yellow cone, which is turning in, and your clipping point for the S's.
Our students get straight into the thick of it with the first lesson of the day, advanced skid control. The cars are specially set up for this lesson to make their handling particularly challenging, especially through the complicated series of twists, turns and manoeuvres the tutors have arranged on the skid pan. It might look like fun, but the drivers are working hard to prove they've got what it takes in an exercise designed to show those with real potential.
You've got to control the car basically. They set the car up with slicks on the front, which are very, very sticky. Basically, the softer the rubber on the tyre, the more it's going to grip. You've got really soft slicks, which grip a lot on the front. On the rear, you've got really hard rubber tyres with tread on, so they're not going to grip as well as slicks in the first place. And because it's hard rubber, they're going to slide everywhere. So you've got loads of grip at the front and no grip at the rear. So as soon as you turn the steering, the back's going to come out. Basically what you're learning to do is to hold the car in a skid sideways.
Sarah, how was that for you?
Great fun. Enjoyed that.
What did you learn?
Actually how to spin. And I managed to do a few slides, which was quite good. Find out the limits of it.
See the instructors saying get quite aggressive. How are you handling that?
Alright, once I, get into it, I can do it quite well. Just takes a bit of time to actually do.
I started off quite smooth, just getting a feel for the car, just finding out its limits. Going quite smooth, had a good session, didn't have barely any spins, and then I came in and he said to me, look, what's going on? Yesterday, you're really getting it sideways, really aggressive, and now you're all smooth, what's going on? And so I said, okay, then you want to see aggressive. So I took it out there and got it a bit side on, had a few spins, knocked over a couple of cones, but it was great fun, really good to be able to swing it around like that.
We're doing the advanced skid course here. It's part of the Jim Russell course that we do here. It's basically to give the guys an opportunity to slide the car and not feel tense about when the car's sliding underneath them. We use a single seater. We put slick tyres on the front, so there's a lot of front end grip and very little rear end grip. We put some horrible road tyres on the back. The car slides at every opportunity, and it gets them used to having the car slide underneath them. There's nothing worse than when you're racing, when the car slides away from you, that you tense up, and normally it fires you off if you do that.
How has Jamie done this afternoon?
Jamie, since yesterday afternoon, I've been sort of harping on at him about his throttle application. He tends to be a wee bit too harsh on the power. We've talked about it a bit already. He's certainly a lot smoother on the steering now, but he needs to watch. When he gets on the throttle, the tendency is not to be squeezing the power on through the corner. It tends to be on a bit too harshly. And again, this is something where he's affecting the balance of the car. He's tending to make the car oversteer too quickly, and then of course he's losing traction all the way through the corner. So what he needs to do is discipline himself more, so when he comes off the brake on the way into the corner, he literally rolls his foot across onto the throttle very gently, so that the transition from braking to acceleration is much smoother then.
Yeah, maybe I should turn in a bit later to be able to carry through that extra bit of speed, and then I'd get more of an exit, whereas at the moment I'm going in a little bit too tight and I'm running out of track on my way out.
Join us after the break as we continue to give you an exclusive insight into an international racecourse. We're following the trials and progress of 7 racing driver wannabes as they try for their racing licenses. Welcome back to Race School, the programme that follows 7 pupils through an international racecourse as they try to make their first steps on the way to becoming a racing driver. There's little time to waste though, so it's up early for morning practice first thing in the Formula Fords. This is their last chance to brush up the finer points of their racing technique, so not a second of seat time is to be wasted in these sporting single-seaters.
It's just not pulling enough revs down the straight.
Basically, I'm just checking the ignition timing. I've had a look at it before, and it is a little bit advanced. With the hot conditions as well, that could be sapping its power.
Car 31, the Japanese lad, is on his first session, and he hasn't been in the car for a while, and the other car was coming up inside him and he turned in on him, so you will get this. An experience, I'm afraid, but there's plenty of room to let both cars go through the corner. There you go, that's what it's all about, we've got to try and teach them these things.
Well, basically, as you can see, this nose cone is now dead, as it were. They cost about 150 to 200 pounds a piece. They are actually a crushable structure, which means that in a collision, either with a tyre wall or with another car, they are designed to actually crumple like this and actually absorb some of the impact.
Basically, they're coming in after a lapping session for a debriefing session with their instructors. At this stage, proceedings are up to full revs, full use of power. They're flat out basically, so we're really fine-tuning the smaller bits they're getting wrong now at this stage. They've done a couple hundred laps, so they should all know the line back to front by now, and it's just really working on the balance, you know, the weight transfer, and really getting the absolute maximum out of each car.
This exercise will test the standards of the pupils' car control to the limit as they drive the fantastic Caterhams and draw on every lesson they've learned in the course.
Very, very difficult to keep the car in the direction you want it to go. Just keeps spinning out all the time. But it's good fun to drive anyway. Good fun.
I've lost the nerves a little bit now, so I feel a bit better. I was overtaken by a fair few amount of people. I think I need to be a bit more definite in what I'm trying to do in that bend, because I'm losing it all the time there, but I feel better. It felt nice.
A bit relieved, yeah?
Yeah. Ask me again about 10 minutes before the race and I'll tell you different, I'm sure. But no, I feel good.
Jamie, I believe there's been a problem with the qualifying times. What's happening?
I started off in the middle of the grid, so I took off and decided to hang back a bit and try and get a clear straight so I could get in a good flying lap. But in doing so, I had to hang back for quite a long time. You know, a lot of cars getting in the way. I managed to get in a lap that wasn't really quick enough because I didn't actually get the momentum through the bottom corner here, which is south.
Out onto Stowe now for the race-prepared Vauxhall Vectras for the start of qualifying.
Clinton, how was that?
It was a bit shaky. It was, it's more of a chance to get the tyres bedded in on that because they're new tyres in the front, so the car is really all over the place. But that's no excuse. We're there. It's quick, but we'll have to see. Looking forward to the race. It'll be better, much better.
Didn't feel too bad. I felt pretty confident. Felt pretty good. we'll see. Not a million miles away from what the other guys are doing. So yeah, I'm a bit happier than I was 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago even. But we'll see when the times come up.
Clinton, tell us about that. That was a really close race. It was really all down to the start, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just proved, you know, what we've learnt and all that, and it's all gone into that, and we had a great race, Michael and I, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Content to go back with second?
No, never, but you know, that's the way it goes. We've got to accept it.
I knew it would be close. Clinton's a really good racer. I just had to be consistent, try my best. And at the end of the day, I didn't late break, I didn't push myself too far, and I just kept it in front.
This is what it's all about, you know, race day. That's why they come here. It's a very long, mentally and physically tough and grueling course. For some of them it's been much more difficult than others. They fought illness, wasp things, some really funny things going on out there as well. But generally, you know, by the end of today, they know in their hearts if they're quick or not as a race driver. Racing is a very, very difficult game. It is controlled by money at the end of the day. The more money you have, the more testing you can do, and supposedly the better you can be. But at the same time, you have to have an awful lot of natural talent. Here at the school, they can come back and do more closed races on the same circuit to gain a little bit more experience. And depending on the performance, how happy we are with them, they can go through to our Pro Series event, which basically supports open race meetings at Silverstone, the national and international circuit.